What's up? My name is Devin, also go by Infinite or Prod by Infinite, and today we're going to be talking about GNX, aka Kendrick Lamar West Coast beats. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over two separate beats, one in the style of Not Like Us and another in the style of Hey Now. So without further ado, brother, let's get into it. Let's get into the video. It's time to get into the video, brother. All right, so the first one we're going to do is the Not Like Us replica kind of sounding one and everything like that. And with this one, I'm going to play the beat first. And then on the next beat, I'll play the beat at the end of the breakdown, because I've looked in the comments. Some of y'all really like it when I play it at the beginning. Some of y'all like it when I play it at the end, and y'all dislike the other way. So we're going to try to find a happy medium. So let's play this real quick. Boom. That's how you make. Why did I just skip to the end of the video? Now let's get into how you make beats just like this. So for all of the GNX stuff and the West Coast Kendrick Lamar stuff that he's been doing lately, it is very sample focused. You can try to make your own melodies. I had a really hard time with it, so I ended up just going on Splice and I got this sample right here. Now, when you're looking for samples like this, just a quick heads up, you want to look for something that has a very prominent string in it and also a piano. As long as it has those two elements, you're going to end up getting that type of vibe. You feel me? The strings are super, super important though. It can't be no string in the background. It got to be in the foreground for real. Now, as you can see right here, this sample is at 92 BPM, but we are at 101 BPM. So before throwing it into Fruity Slicer, I had to render it out real quick, which means all I did was just go right here, click this little button right here and hit Alt R. If you're on Mac, hit Option R, and then it'll just copy out like a new little version of it and everything like that. And that's what I did. And then once I got that new version, I dragged it over to Fruity Slicer and then popped up this little screen right here. You're gonna hit this slice tool and you're gonna go to beats, because there's different versions. You could do like 1/3 beat, 1/4 beat, you know what I mean? But I typically like going to beat, which basically means that every single beat of the project is going to have a chop of that sample. Then after I did that, I used this knob? Lever? What is this called? Slider? I put this up to 800. I basically pitched it up 800 cents or 8 semitones, whichever you like to prefer and everything like that. I ended up just chopping it up like this right here. Now, here's a couple things I would like to talk about with this chop that's going to help you guys out try to make beats like this. One is that you just need to get like one catchy melody, bro. And when you're trying to get the catchy melody, what you want to do is you want to do these little repeats right here. You know what I mean? These are really going to help you get that West Coast bounce. You're really going to help get that Not Like Us bounce. You know what I mean? You can even do other ones where it's like boom, boom. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Second thing, which is arguably the most important one, if you want your sample chop to feel like a loop, kind of repetitive, really catchy, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that first like little catchy thing that you made, you're gonna copy it over one more time, and then copy it over a last time. And then when you copy it over that very last time, what you're gonna do is you're gonna change up this one right here. Now, I don't necessarily know what that technique is called, but I use it in a lot of like my melody creations, and it's just like an overall very solid technique to use when you're making beats. Take this, copy it over, change it up on the last one, you have a cool little pattern. And lastly, if you really want to get that sample chop kind of feel, something you can do is cut off the tail or cut off the very end of these notes right here. So normally if we're placing down notes and stuff like that, we would just, you feel me, have it be all connected like this. You know what I mean? But instead, what I did was get that little gap right there. Now, I did that because when you're chopping up samples, bro, like people are hitting the keys, they're going, there's like a gap. I'm basically kind of like replicating that little gap that you get from switching from key to key when you're chopping up a sample. And then for the mixer channel, all I did was just cut out the low end, boost the highs a little bit, and then throw on some reverb, brother. And then after that is really just straight drums, bro. I have the Go-To Spins 808. available in the Infinite Essentials 2024 drum kit on gatekeepsounds.com. And I just did this pattern right here. It's just that little 3-note. Oh, and just so y'all know, the 808 just hits like that straight out the box. Like, I ain't do nothing to it. Boost a little bit, just the EQ knob. Maybe I lied. Even if you turn this off, it still hits. After that, just got this snap right here. This one right here, if you want the specific one, it is the E-Trizzle Snap from E-Trizzle Deluxe Drum Kit Volume 1, which is available on gatekeepsounds.com. But I mean, it's a snap. You can get the snap anywhere. Just kind of like with the 808. You can get the 808 anywhere for real, which is actually why I put it in the free version of the Infinite Essentials 2024 drum kit, because like you can get spins everywhere. You feel me? The only real difference is that like I boosted it and EQ'd it in a specific way that I like it to hit. Next, this is the Bare Essentials Hi-Hat 1, which is in the Bare Essentials drum kit, which is a free drum kit you can download on YouTube right now. Now, the trick with the hi-hats is that you just want to do spaces and like little hits and stuff like that. You don't necessarily want to do like a whole two-step kind of thing like this right here. What you really want to do is just take the time to have the beat loop over and just place them into like where you think like would be kind of cool and anything like that. And if you ever get like lost or you never really know what to put next, you can kind of just follow this little, I think BusyWorks Beats called it a tracito pattern. It always works. Then when you're doing that, you can also just add in like little rolls like this if you want to spice it up, mess around with the velocities, going down, going up, do some panning tricks, stuff like that. Only thing is you don't want to do too much. Leave it a little spacey. If you feel like it needs something else, you should probably stop. Got the little DJ scratch right here, you know, classic West Coast stuff. Then with the open hat, Bare Essentials open hat 2, just the open hat, you feel me? That's all it really is. I threw in a riser too. Smooth. And with that being said, let's get on to the next beat. Now, like I said, the second beat is going to be more inspired like Hey Now, kind of like more of the current GNX stuff. So shout out Prod by Jack and Ellis Lost. They have this really cool series called Synth Palace. So they released one called Synth Palace Vintage, and I was just checking it out and I heard this right here. And I was like, whoa, that's hard. So I took it and I chopped it up and it sounded like this right here. And then for the effects, just, you know, delay, reverb, EQ, and I just looped it over. And then for the second half, I pitched it up. I also turned down the volume because when it got pitched up, it sounded way louder. If you know me, I really like to layer things. So I ended up getting a second one and I just put it underneath and I put it kind of quiet. So here's what they both sound like together. And that second one, it has halftime on it. So the same effects as the first one, but just include halftime. Then after that, it was really like, it was just drum time. Brother, it was time for the drums, you know what I mean? So I just got this little clap right here. Also, if you see any sound that says like E hyphen, you know what I mean, whatever sound name, it's from an E-Trizzle kit. It's on gatekeepsounds.com. I believe I only used the first kit. So if you do like these sounds, very accessible, very easy to get. You know, it's a clap. We ain't got to talk about it too much. And then next, I really just did like a little two-step, bruh. Just mad simple, a lot of space. Now, you might be thinking, Infinite, that's a little basic. Why are we just doing that basic clap and hi-hat pattern? It's because I went stupid, doo-doo, dumb on the 808s. Now, the trick with the 808s on getting that Hey Now kind of sound is to do these little rolls right here and like this right here. These rolls are really going to help you get that vibe. And if you're curious, go to the 1/6 step and then put them on the grid like that, and you're really going to get that sound. Or you can also do 1/3 step. You know what I mean? Mess with the 1/3 or the 1/6 when you're doing these rolls and you'll have a very easy time. Then then at the end, I always like to make sure I do like higher notes, whether that be a whole octave up or a couple notes higher, just because I feel like it makes it more interesting. I feel like it helps out the bounce a lot. And I feel like when you do the bounce for the 808s on the first like couple bars, it's to really like establish the groove. So I like to make it kind of open, very simple, very easy to understand. And then when you get to the end of the bar, you make it a little bit more complex, a little bit more interesting. So the way I like to look at like throwing down 808s is that like this section right here, make it simple, make it easy to understand. And then this is where you can get kind of like creative and interesting and everything like that. Then on top of that, just open hats, you feel me? That's all it does for every couple bars. A little reverb rim just for some ambiance. And then all these sounds are gonna be in the Infinite Essentials 2024 drum kit. Reverb clap, ambiance, and then come on, it's like West Coast stuff. We gotta do the stomps too, bro. You know what I mean? It's a nice little way to end off the bar, transition into the next bar. Very fuego, you feel me? And then what I noticed with a lot of the GNX beats is that they use like rim shots to establish more bounce in the beat. So I made sure to get this little rim sound right here, and I used it throughout the bars and everything. I mean, it really helps get the bounce there, you feel me? And then last, I just got, no, not last. I just got this little laser sound. And then the very last thing is that when you listen to Hey Now, there's that like clock percussion sounding kind of thing. So what I did was I got an alarm clock sound from Splice. You know what I mean? So I just got that, and then I chopped it up. I threw effects on it. With the effects, just EQ, did this effect rack preset, phase wah, and then I threw some reverb on it. So now it sounds like this. Then after that, just got a little riser. I believe it's the same one from the last beat. And then that's what the full beat is. Nothing too crazy, bro.
Hey, go ahead, Infinite.
This hard. Dude, the 808 bounce on this one is crazy, bro. And then the very last thing, got it on the default settings, and I also just boosted it up by 1% just to help knock a little bit harder, you feel me? And with that being said, that's how you make GNX type beats for Kendrick Lamar.